Well, the concept of libraries has changed drastically. Nowadays, libraries have less to do with books, but more to do with all forms of information. I think the library calls them human books, which is like people who come and talk to other people about their stories. So the book is no longer the driving force behind the library. The design of this building was through design competition. So in 1991, the city of Vancouver requested expressions of interest from international architects. There were 27 entries. From those 27, they selected 8, and then from the 8, they went to 3 finalists. A was Kurabara Payne McKenna, B was Hardy Holtzman Pfeiffer, and C was Moshe Safdie with DA Architects. At the time, we were Downs Archambault. Now, there was various selection committees. There was a public selection committee, and then there was a selection committee made up of architects, urban designers, landscape architects. So in both cases, they selected option C, which was the Moshe Safdie Downs Archambault design. When Moshe first designed this building, he came to Vancouver and he saw all these glassy towers of different colors. He was not impressed. He thought the design of the towers were lacking. What he wanted to do as a counterpoint to the glassy towers was put a very solid building. And that's why we got this heavy precast concrete ellipsoid ring around this building. It was to create this solid impression. But when you go inside, you see right through it. The 9 floors become immediately apparent. So you know what's inside the building. From the outside, it's like a fortress. From the inside, you can see everything, you can understand everything. So that was what Moshe intended, is that dichotomy of the outside and the inside. Outside, fortress, inside, completely open. So back in 1995, the building was 7 stories tall with a roof garden on the top. Now, in order to make the project work financially, Safdie and DA was forced to add another 2 stories of shelf space, which was eventually leased to the provincial government for 20 years. So the roof garden idea was abandoned until 20 years later, when the lease of the provincial government ended in 2015. They knew this lease was ending, and they got together the original design team of Moshe Safdie, Cornelia Oberlander, and myself. I took over as the partner on this project. It was important for the design team that this indoor space looked out onto the outdoor space, and there was a free flow between the indoor and the outdoor. When we think about the original roof garden, it took up the entire rectangle on the rooftop. What we had here was very limited space. I think we had 5 feet at the edge of the building, so we had to actually carve away the original building. And we chipped away the concrete inch by inch using robotic machines, and we created the roof garden through a process of subtraction rather than addition. So people often say, I did an addition to this building or this building or that building. In our case, Moshe and I, we did a subtraction to Library Square. Well, the concept of libraries has changed drastically. Back in 1995, libraries were all about books. The idea was that the book was precious. So when the original roof garden was planned, one of the concerns was that someone's going to go onto the roof and throw the books over the edge of the roof, right? The precious books, and everybody's worried about the precious books, right? Nowadays, libraries have less to do with books, but more to do with all forms of information. Like, people come here for the internet. We have, I think the library calls them human books, which is like people who come and talk to other people about their stories. So the book is no longer the the driving force behind the library. And you can see that in how a lot of libraries are waiving late fees, right? The book is becoming less important. They want people to come in. They want people to use all the resources at hand, including roof gardens. You know, it becomes more of a public place to enjoy your book, your laptop, your lunch, whatever. So it's less about books now, and that's what made this roof garden possible.